The NFL schedule release was last night. Very creative of all the social media teams of the league that stole the show. But to me, what if I had to create, the top bullet points of what happened over these last couple of days? It's Brandon Anderson over at the Action Network, jack of all trades, covers NBA, covers NFL. Brandon decided to rank all 272 NFL regular season games. We'll get into the weeds of this, but you need to explain to the audience how this project became about, and are you insane?
So yes, to the latter question. And hilariously, it came about because last year when the schedule release came out, the night of the release, I was roped into writing an article on here's my favorite game of each week on the schedule. And I was like, never again. The schedule came out. It was too much. It was hard to figure out one game on every week and balance it and give every team their due. I can't do it. I can't pick my top 10. It's too much. ... What if we just ranked every game instead? And we could do that before the schedule came out and we just did the whole thing. No one's doing that, right? What if we just rank all 272? So I had an Excel spreadsheet. I gave them different grades and rankings on watchability. A lot comes out to both teams in a game being watchable. It's no fun watching a blowout. So I ranked all the games, I ranked all the teams, and we came up with 272 down to one. 5 Chiefs games made up the top 5. I guess I like watching Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why you wouldn't want to watch the Super Bowl champs, but I know you want to talk about some of the other teams that were surprises on the list.
Yeah, so of most watchable, going in descending order, Brandon's top 6, Jets 6, Lions 5, Texans 4, 49ers 3, Dolphins 2. You land on the Green Bay Packers as the most watchable team in 2024. Why?
Yeah, boy, I am a traitor today. I'm coming on with my Minnesota fandom, picking against the Timberwolves and then picking the Green Bay Packers, my rivals, as the most watchable team. So here's the case. Again, watchable games are close games. They're interesting games. So if you notice, the teams on that list largely are teams with good offense, so we're going to get some points. And they're teams that don't have incredibly dominant defense, so we're probably going to get shootout type games and close, interesting games. That's what I like. So everyone can choose their own aesthetic. Make your own 272 list. This is mine. I want close games. I want some scoring. We got Jordan Love. He's on the rise. We got a pretty entertaining division. That's important because if you're like, why aren't the Chiefs on the list? Well, the Chiefs got to play the Broncos twice and the Raiders twice and honestly the Chargers twice. I don't know if I need to see those games all that much. I like to watch the Lions and the Bears and the Vikings. These are all teams that are interesting against the Packers. And so I think similar to like the Jets, the Texans, you get games that are interesting. And for me, the Packers, the key with them, they had no games in my bottom 100. 0 games. They're the only team like that. So there's no bad game. There's no amazing game necessarily, but they're just all watchable. 13 out of 17 games hit my top 80. So basically, every Packers game is worth tuning in for. That checks out. I'm happy to watch Jordan Love and see if he continues on the rise and see where this team goes this season.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a hard project to look, the project you're doing, of course, and then also trying to find a game in which the Packers are featured that's a bad game. It's kind of a difficult task. So
exactly it.
That math works out. Again, check it out, actionnetwork.com in the Action app. Brandon did a great job with this. Something that struck me, and you look at the teams that are least watchable. So I'll just give it to the people. 27 through 32, least watchable teams. Denver Broncos, they took a quarterback. They made other moves at quarterback, acquiring some others like Zach Wilson. Tampa, Raiders, Washington Commanders, Carolina, New York Giants. And save your takes, everybody, for the Giants uniforms thing. We're not doing that here. But the Washington Commanders are a good jumping off point because they had the number 2 pick in the draft and selected Jaden Daniels. And I think the consensus is they're going to be better. And Daniels just won the Heisman Trophy. He's an attractive up-and-coming star. Folks are curious to see what it means. So the whole point being is you don't think, and I didn't name any other first-round quarterbacks such as Caleb Williams, who will be featured in Packer games, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, who will be featured in Packers games, I may add. But the first-round quarterbacks, based on what I'm gathering here, they're not all that watchable to you. This year's class.
Yeah, it's a fair question. And to be totally honest, of the 6 teams in that bottom group, when I saw the result and saw that it was in fact Jaden Daniels down there so near the bottom. I was like, huh, that seems off a little bit. Like that didn't seem quite right with me either. So it's a fair question to ask. But I think too, it's important to remember we're watching teams. I want to see watchable games, right? These teams that pick near the top for a reason. They stunk last year. They were not Super Bowl watchable. They don't have a lot of talent. I think Washington did improve. They have a lot of offensive talent if things start to come together. But rookie quarterbacks are fun in theory. But then when we watch them, we see like sacks and turnovers and bad decisions and blowout games. Like case in point, first game on the schedule for Washington at Tampa Bay week 1. Those are 2 teams in my bottom 6. In theory, you're like, all right, let's go. Jaden Daniels debut. Let's see what my Heisman guy can do. I can't fault you for it. I want to watch football. So give me a game. Give me any game. I'm in. This game ranked 263rd for me out of 272. Now, before the schedule came out, I'd probably move up a few slots now, but I think it's the worst game of week 1. I don't need to see a rookie quarterback make a road debut against Todd Bowles' defense. That's going to scheme up for like 5 months now to get ready for a rookie quarterback who may not even start week 1, probably will, but we don't know that for sure yet.
Right.
There's a lot of downside to it. So I remember last year's project, one of the weeks I chose, I forget, I think Bryce Young and CJ Stroud played each other as the top 2 picks. And that was my game of the week 1 week. And I got crushed in the comments of like, what? The Bengals play the Bills this week. You'd rather watch these 2 quarterbacks we don't know about? And I defended it. And guess what? When we got to that week, I promise you, I did not watch CJ Stroud and Bryce Young play. I watched the Bills Bengals or whatever the other game was. So lesson learned. I'm going to watch the games that are interesting. We'll check on the rookie quarterbacks when we can. We got plenty of time for them.
Very good. Again, I strongly encourage you folks to check it out. actionnetwork.com. It's titled 2024 NFL Schedule Release, ranking all 272 regular season games. Brandon Anderson, great work. Thanks for jumping on the show to give us a little insight on this article, and best of luck with your NBA plays as well.
Thanks, Brendan.
You know what's fun? NFL schedule release night, but not to Tim Kalinowski. NFL schedule came out last night. Not many leaks. The teams, all 32 teams, did a good job. They were trying to prevent any leaks to allow for a television product last night for the schedule release. Your reaction to that process and that whole thing it's turned into?
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It is absolutely ludicrous. It's just out of this world that people cannot wait for the NFL's schedule release. And they do the thing where it's like, here's when we're going to release the schedule. And then we do release the schedule. And then we do about, 3 straight weeks of television breaking down teams, win, loss, and that's fun. Don't get me wrong. But, you think of situations like Aaron Rodgers and takes the first, the third snap of the season. And it's like, well, that was fun for 7 months doing all that math. The one time I can remember it mattering was when Andrew Luck retired out of the blue. It was like that 3rd preseason game. And I remember having bet the other side, one of the sides of that opening game. I think they played the Chargers. And then I was able to get the other side and get a middle opportunity going into week 1. So sitting on this like exciting middle for weeks waiting for NFL week 1. Again, looking back on that experience, I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of a complete loser. It gives me a lot of anxiety seeing all these games because it's like, can we just do the NHL and the NBA playoffs and the WNBA start? Like, there's still a lot going on here. People really just only care about football, only care about the NFL. There's a lot going on here, Glash.
Glad you brought up the Jets because they get a bye in week 12 and 6 of their first 11 are standalone games. Opening night, they're on Monday night, a couple of Thursday nights in there with Houston and New England, Buffalo on a Monday night, Pittsburgh Sunday night, Colts Sunday night before the bye. So I wonder if that's all about what that's all about. That's if the Jets do end up falling on their faces. Let's squeeze in the Rodgers return games early. And if it does end up they fall on their faces, they'll just play at 1:00, which is what they're going to do from weeks 13 to 17. They're all at 1:00.
Yeah, that was a hedge. I feel like they might have learned their lesson a little bit. And I get it. It's a tough game to play. You're predicting, who's going to be good and when, and that's how you build the schedule. And I just ask one thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's making a big deal about how now you need Sunday ticket, you need Prime, you need Peacock, you need Netflix. It's going to be like $300 to $700 to watch every NFL game. And I say this, I don't care about the money. I'm a sucker. I will pay for it no matter what. But the thing is, just with that, can you just give me no glitches, no internet outages, no spinning wheels, no buffering, no restart the app, switch out, Glash, log in, this, authenticate. I just want it to work. I want to get what I pay for. I am the person that was sitting on my couch. I'm like, sometimes the NFL thing doesn't load, the NFL app, and I'm sitting to myself, I would pay any amount of money for it to just work. And this is like the NHL playoffs right now, they're having a problem. The TNT broadcast is a full minute and a half ahead of the actual on ice, live in person. So they have beat writers that can't even tweet out power play, goal, icing, because people were sitting there. You can't even go on Twitter during the games. And that's what I don't want to happen with this. I don't want someone to be 30 seconds ahead of me during the games on Netflix on Christmas Day, because I want to go on Twitter too. The social aspect is a major part of this. So I don't care. I'll pay all the money. Just please make it work. Just work.
I'm kind of a stronger proponent of not using social media during games, or like at very least commercials. I guess you kind of have to do it for your job. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's for my job, but I also I like to see in real time what people are thinking. I'm still kind of old school, like not old school, but
That's
like
not old
early
school.
Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's early Twitter though, like early Twitter of just like that call was terrible. Are you kidding me? Are you this? And then I kind of think to myself, I didn't think about that call. Was that really a bad call? It's just I enjoyed the discourse. Again, I have like a good Twitter, like not my personal, like I have a good I follow the right people, and it's like enough for me. So I kind of appreciate what people are saying.
Yeah, because again, like this phone thing, it's not new anymore. But like there was a day where you just watch, and then you put on the TV and watch reaction. And I'm with you too. Like we all pay for it. What was the number for Miami and Kansas City, that playoff game on Peacock? It shattered records. I will add too, though, I used YouTube TV for the season last year with all the
Yeah.
and it was actually had no issues. It's pretty good.
No, it is good. It's just I'm traveling a lot, so like I'm in this place and that place, and I'm a big world traveler here. And then the thing with YouTube, you got to reset your location every time. Like, so I just again you should just know where I am. All these things know where you are. Just like make it work, please.
Mm-hmm. Well, no glitches on your segment today, and thanks for making time for us on Green Dot Daily. Your busy schedule. Thanks for being here.
Oh yeah, a lot going on. I'm sweating just thinking about this NFL thing already. So thanks, Glash. Appreciate it.